We're watching more people come into this world, and we're starting to see more diversity. We're living amongst it. You cannot avoid it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And if we can all just embrace that, I think that the world will be a better place, you know? And it's great to be different and to acknowledge those differences, because those are the things that bring us together. It's nice to have the different personalities and the different perspectives. And a lot of that comes from somewhere, whether it's the upbringing, you know, the cultural experience, places people have lived in. To know your history, to know your roots, to know where you came from. It helps identify who you are as a person and how you're going to be in life, you know, with respect and so on and so forth. We all have to have an experience of how we're going to allow multiculturalism and allow diversity to have an influence on our lives.
To me, celebrating diversity is about people out in the streets to get strangers talking to strangers.
That vibe is so many different people coming together and living life and finding enjoyment in so many different ways. Finding entertainment through celebration and through food and through friends, and just being generally happy together, no matter who you are or where you're from. It's great just to have a full group of people that you've never seen before or met before, and just mingle around and meet new people and see new faces and find new friends. You walk out your front door and you don't even notice anymore, and I think that's the first step to multiculturalism or accepting, is just not even recognizing that there's somebody that might be different.
You know, it's really great when you see all those different people with all those different cultural backgrounds coming together and enjoying themselves in, you know, in all the various ways that they know how, and all the cross-cultural things that happen. You know, somebody comes out from one cultural community and shares some sort of dance or music, and a whole bunch of people who would not have otherwise been able to access that get to come out and sort of be part of it and learn about it and, you know, understand what these people are all about. The healthiest communities are made up of really diverse groups of people, and I mean the fun of living in an urban environment particularly is to meet all different people, to experience all different parts of all different cultures, you know, helping people to get out on the street and you know, lowering barriers for them to sort of share those different aspects of their culture.
The importance of building cultural self-awareness has to do with how we all belong here and how we need to work together to belong here. And sometimes I feel like by engaging in other cultures, it makes you realize maybe what you're missing, because every culture, I think, has something really awesome to offer.
We're all ambassadors of cultural unity if we're willing to or want to and have a passion for new experiences like foods, trying new foods, you know, attending festivals, listening to world music. You know, living in a place like Vancouver, and I've also lived in Toronto and New York, these are places that are big cities, diverse, lots of different people. You know, it's nice to appreciate where everyone's from and to share our experiences and to feel good about our differences.
The original vision of the festival was, you know, partly to strengthen the neighborhood, the idea of getting communities together and you know, making a statement about sustainability. Really, a big part of it was seeing roads as public space that we could make use of, rather than just a place you have to drive. I think when people come, they're just reacting to that sort of fun, healthy, you know, vibrant environment that we're trying to sort of create in our neighborhood.
They were closing the street down, and it was one big party, and all the vendors would push their storefronts out onto the street, and people would, you know, play music and jam and dance all the way up until, you know, 9 o'clock at night. And it was always really sad when the cars started coming back, and then everybody had to go back on the sidewalk.
Someday in the future, it would be nice if the whole city shut down and we just had one big street party. People are really sort of thinking about a different way of living and strengthening our communities by living there, by really living locally and you know, living in the shops and living in the parks and living on the street and experiencing and creating that culture in our own little local places. I'm out there for the Parade of Lost Souls, the different kinds of the solstice events, and just all the really cool sort of arts and culture events that happen down the drive. I mean, there's a million different events that happen all through the year, and you know, they're really unique experiences that I wouldn't want to miss.
It was founded around a kitchen table by 3 women who had a goal to strengthen the spirit of community in Vancouver by putting on public art and performance events. It's the building and creating and letting your imagination roar wild. And people figuring out how to create their visions and let them come to life in a totally free and open forum.
Lantern Festival is just an amazing experience for people to sort of come together and express themselves in different ways. People from all over the city spend a lot of time creating unique lanterns, some huge, some tiny, some intricate details, and they hang them all over this park around a lake. And in the middle of the night, the lake just illuminates with creative expressions.
The culture of the vibe of the event, it's all 5 stars.
In the doing, in the sitting down with people of all different types and backgrounds, there is something that happens in transformation. And I think part of what that shows is that people have a real craving to, as we saw during the Olympics, that people want to be out and celebrating. People want to be out and engaged with their community.
People wanted to experience what the city was doing and all the activities, and lots of new people were in town. It was very communal, so the community just came together and it was easy to talk to people. Everyone wanted to just celebrate together. You know, even if you were just like walking in the streets, you felt like you were at a celebration, even though you were just walking on the sidewalks, you know, because everyone was cheering, giving high fives. So I loved it. It was a perfect time to be in Vancouver.
To really capitalize on that and say, no, the party doesn't have to end. We can keep going, but let's do it in an interesting way, not just yelling in the streets with beer.
I appreciate that it's love at the end of it, because we all are different. We can have this respect for each other. And when we do that, at the end of the day, it is about us all sharing the same land. We share the same city. We share the same, you know, what's available to us as citizens. And so if we treat each other with respect and we're kind to each other and we learn about each other, it creates a place of harmony. Yeah.
I would like to see a place where we're all able to be heard, and for our creativity and our expression of what our values are to be mutually valued everywhere.
It's so much easier just to live, like, enjoy everybody. I think my life ends up being better if I enjoy everybody, and theirs will be better too. Fortunately, we live in a place where there's access. You just have to look for it. Don't be afraid to ask people, oh, do you know of any events that are happening? Because you'd be surprised of the number of events that are happening.
All My Relations means even though we might be different, we might look different, we might have different cultures or religions, we are all connected because we're all on the same planet, and especially in today's cosmopolitan society, we all live next door, right beside each other. And with all the turmoil going on, I feel like All My Relations really brings us back to who we are as humanity.
Gonna take my photo